them in that list. Not only this group of 4. Look at the crowds. Huge on Lagos de Covadonga, and Cajarual are really going to welcome this. And this man here, Antonio Piedra, the butterflies must now be going, Sean. He's not that far from the top, and he's seen very little reaction at the moment from those people who are in the breakaway with him. He knows he's got a little bit of a gap, and this must be the best possibility he's got for a win in his life of a huge stage.
Yes, and you know, he will be getting a bit more confidence here. No real big action from the other breakaway companions, and that will be, you know, he will be, you know, building on that, and if he can keep on working as he is, but I feel that there's some of the riders here back in the breakaway that are just playing the waiting game, because he still has, you know, 6 kilometers to go. I feel that there has to be somebody with you know, a bit more left, and when they go in the attack they can close him down very quickly, but that's something you just never know. Maybe everybody is suffering a little bit of the rest of the breakaway.
He's doing a good job, he's riding well. Cajarual, backed by one of Spain's bigger banking groups. And this group is getting progressively smaller. There's no massive kick here at the moment. The points jersey today you can see being worn by Alejandro Valverde, the green jersey. But just a strong pace is making life difficult for everybody here. And where we go again, Sean, it's a massive change of tactic by Saxo Tinkoff. I think they've decided they can't go ride as one big long string of riders and try and destroy Joaquim Rodriguez. They've got to try and mix the pace up and make sure that everybody else is suffering here.
Yes, well, of course, yesterday, you know, they took the race up very early, and that is something you can do on one day, but you can't continue on doing that for 2 or 3 days, and they have a different tactic here today. Just play the waiting game, get onto the climb, and the very moment we got on the first slopes of this Lagos de Covadonga, they just upped the pace, and here they are just, you know, attacking all the time, making the pace unregular. That's what they're trying to do, and you know, they are pushing on here, and it'll be interesting to see now if Contador can react, but Katusha really doing a good job. Just put 2 men on the front, keep the pace quite high, and we can see the advantage. It's only, you know, 8 or 10 seconds at the moment for this small group of about 7 riders just off the front of the bunch of main contenders.
Piedra. He's going well. Now you can see what I mean about this top of Lagos de Covadonga. It's not all just one great big long ramp up. It's dips down and up, and there's some sections which run down and then up again. To vary your pace, you can get a little bit of speed into the next section of climb, and Piedra looks as though he's, at the moment, looks as though he may well be riding to the biggest victory of his career. He's had 2 professional victories, one this year, the GP Rogaland in Norway, but you have to go back a number of years now to get a pretty big win. He won a stage in Vuelta, Portugal, but that was what, 3 years ago. This, if he won this would just eclipse everything he's ever had. This is a fascinating tactic, Sean, because Saxo, they're just pinging people off the front, and other riders are sort of rising to the bait, aren't they? Other riders are thinking, or not riding to the bait, they're thinking, this is a good idea. Maybe we could destroy some people's morale and legs by going with them. .7 kilometers to go for Antonio Piedra at the top, and it almost seems, Sean, as if the Saxo Tinkoff think that, well, if the pace slackens just a little bit, bang, we'll just fire somebody off the road, up the road, everybody will start to respond, and just pushing people into the red. Who are they going to push into the red first?
Well, for the moment we can't see that there's anybody from the big favourites in difficulty, and there's you know, a big group of riders here with Joaquim Rodriguez, Contador, and we can see just the line there. All the favourites, all the top 10 men seems to be there or about in the general classification, but there is time for the elastic to break, and that's what they're trying to do. You know, they're just upping the pace and changing the rhythm all the time, and they feel, I think that's the way to do. That's the way to try and get some of the other riders into difficulty. Will it work? Will Rodriguez get into difficulty? Looking at the past performances and the way he's riding, highly unlikely, but again, you have to keep on trying and keep on working at it, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
This is an impressive ride. Antonio Piedra is going well here, Sean, and Cajarual, the whole of the team. The director sportive in the car, two back. They have two directors here, as everybody else does. Cajarual, Mikel Aspran and Mikel Astanaga. They must be chewing their nails down to the quick now, Sean.
Yes, and you can see we just got the time check there, 103 advantage for him, and
that's good.
That's looking good, because if the other riders from the breakaway were feeling good, that they'd be getting concerned at this point. They wouldn't be allowing him to take that advantage. So it looks real good that he is going to possibly hold on here and get the stage victory.
There's more and more pressure being put on riders behind Saxo. I fear, Sean, that the biggest man suffering today will be Christopher Froome. Rovers Hesink leads the group now. There is Froome, right at the back, and I think in a bit of trouble actually at the moment. I mean, if the pace got any higher, I wouldn't be at all surprised, or it kept yo-yoing as Saxo Tinkoff have decided to do. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was out the back door fairly shortly.
Well, it's not the place to be. We can see there he's very much to the rear end of that group, and there's maybe 40 riders still in there, and we can see him just hanging on the very end of that. And if there's attack from the favourites up front, then that group will really blow to pieces, and he could find himself a long way off. So not looking like he's comfortable for the moment.
Igor Anton. Certainly riding better as this Vuelta a España goes on. Had a bit of a nightmare first few days and lost so much time, but he has fought brilliantly, I think, Sean. He's moved himself up through the top 10. 2 days ago he was 10th. Yesterday he finished 7th on the stage itself. He now lies in lies off the just in 10th spot overall at 7 minutes and 16 seconds. It's the sort of thing he'd still love to win a stage, but he's certainly riding stronger than he was.
Yes, he is, and we can see there again there's the reaction from it's Rabobank seems to be just leading the front of the peloton here, and it's the same situation. Like when you look at general classification, Gessing is still up there, Tendam is still up there just ahead of Anton, and that's the reason maybe they want to keep him in sights and not allow him to get any major advantage.
That's a wonderful shot. Looking down on the final approaches to Lagos de Covadonga. Last victor here was in 2010. It was Carlos Barredo, then riding for Quickstep. Before that, Vladimir Fimkin, Kestepan, I think he was riding for at the time. And then before that, Eladio Jimenez in 2005. This constant yo-yoing of pace is causing real problems for some of these riders. This is an impressive ride by Hesink today. Robert Hesink was suffering a little bit yesterday and the day before, but seems to be going all right today, Sean, setting a pace that others are finding difficult to live with.
Yes, well, he's following the riders from Saxo Bank, who are just to continue on setting a pace here and attacking, as we can see Froome very much on the end here, and not looking good at all. Sitting this far off, it's a sign that he is in major difficulty.
Well, that group is strung right out up the hill. Valverde coming up towards the front. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Here they go, here they go. Alejandro Valverde launches the attack with Alberto Contador on the wheel. And just behind, Joaquim Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the man, always seems to be in one sprocket higher than Contador when you look at him. And this is a big one. And Froome is going to go from this one. He's going to go straight out the back door. Gorka Verdugo is just about to be swallowed up here. Verdugo is going to have to see if he can tack onto these men, if he possibly can. Very much doubt it. And Froome, it's over for Froome on the climb here. He's way out of the back door, Sean. There's no way back from this, I don't think.
No, it's not looking good at all. And the problem is, you know, when the big riders go pushing on the front of the bunch, you need to react immediately. Otherwise, you know, to get across this gap, if they continue on riding here, Contador and the rest, well, then Froome is going to have big difficulty. He still have a number of teammates around him. We've seen it before where Froome gets into difficulty for a time, then recovers exceptionally well and is able to finish quite strongly. But
this one looks bad to me.
He's got to make a reaction quickly.
Yep, this one looks bad to me. He looks as though he had nothing to respond with here. He's not in that group just following that. Not that I can see. It's a big long shot down. He's way off the back here.
Yes, we can see off that group 8-10 riders chasing. We can see Froome there with some of the teammates just a little bit off the rear end of that group.
Here we are. This is the tactic that you were talking about, Sean. In this case, it's working for Movistar with Quintana, the Colombian climber, here with Valverde. Contador on his wheel, and then Igor Anton has been passed by Joaquim Rodriguez and the bunch. Well, Igor Anton looking so good at that point, John, in his own rhythm. He's just been passed and they're just riding away from him.
Yes, and you know, when the peloton is going along at a certain pace, Anton able to get out of that group and ride away from them slowly, but never had a big advantage. But when you get the real great climbers and the riders who are the strong men of this race, when they put in a big attack, you can see Anton just not able to latch onto the wheels when they come by.
Oh, this is a disaster for Chris Froome. At the moment, he's what, 30 seconds, Sean, probably 20, 25. And Sergio Henao looking over his shoulder, thinking, well, how far back are you? We're waiting. Got Rigoberto around with him, but meanwhile, up the road, his countryman Quintana is doing a fine job here for Alejandro Valverde. Here we go. Another attack by Contador. Valverde can't respond to that one immediately, but Rodriguez is right on it. Joaquim Rodriguez is on it now. Valverde gets out of the saddle to try and get back there. How on earth do these men accelerate like this? Contador especially is an acceleration specialist like this. Well done, Alejandro Valverde. He just knew this little bit was coming up. And he's able to get over the top and respond. For a second there, Sean, it looked as though Contador was going to go flying off with Rodriguez once again. Yes,
Valverde not reacting immediately. I think he was expecting his teammate maybe to continue following, and that's what he needs at the moment. He needs a teammate. Was doing a very good job setting a good pace. We see Froome there. He was 20 seconds off that group of Contador and Rodriguez. Valverde before the attack of Contador, of course, but he seems to be just clinging on there with some of the teammates, and if he makes it back into that group of other favourites, Roach and Co, as we can see the leader here on the road going on to take stage victory, I reckon, at this point, because the advantage he has at 1 minute, it's downhill, and then the last bit it kicks uphill, but it looks like he can hold on and get a magnificent stage victory.
Yep, let's stay with Antonio Piedra for just a second. He's inside the last kilometre, rises up onto the top of the climb, and that is a wonderful ride He went very early in the climb, and Antonio Piedra has just ridden away from everybody. He won a stage in the Tour of Portugal back in 2009. He's had one victory this year, the GP Roglan, but it's been pretty barren apart from that. But this will be possibly, well, it is the biggest victory of his career to date. It might even be the biggest victory of his career forever, because this is an enormous stage to win, Sean.
Yes, well, he's going to make up for everything today, winning this stage, and as we said a bit earlier on, winning on Lagos de Covadonga. It's one of the big, monument stages of the Vuelta, and what a victory for the team Cacarual, a small team, just getting in on a wildcard basis.
Fabulous victory for Antonio Piedra, winning for Cacarual, and it makes their Vuelta a España. Here we go again, Contador. He just lays off the back a little bit like a trackie, half a bike length back, and goes again. This time around, Rodriguez thinks, I tell you what, we'll let Quintana shut him down here. Wait for it though, wait. Look, he's got the motorbike. He's used that motorbike really well. Now Rodriguez realizes that the gap is getting a little bit too big. It's time to react. If Contador's got anything to kick again, he might be able to pull out a little bit of a gap. Clever use of the motorbike then by Alberto Contador. Ooh, Rodriguez finding it a little bit more difficult to close the gap this time around. As Contador gets out of the saddle, I think he realizes it as well. Can he keep going along long enough to break Joaquim Rodriguez here? I don't know about that, Sean, but he's certainly having a good go. No, here comes Rodriguez, back to the wheel. How on earth does he do this? What an extraordinary attack again, and Rodriguez has had to respond once more. Will Contador just ease it right the way back up again and wait for Valverde to rejoin them? Surely Rodriguez has got to boss this one now. He's got to get in front and say, look, I'm the leader here, and just take a bit more active stance to stop the attacks coming on.
And exactly what he's doing. We could see that he just rides up to him and just goes beside him, and not going to push on here as Contador just puts in another attack, and this will help Valverde. We could see he was in a little bit of difficulty, and he's got his teammate there, Quintana, who is setting a good pace, but Contador is not allowing it to slow down for very long.
No, but this is not going to break Rodriguez. He needs to get the jump on Rodriguez. It's like sprinting for a finish, isn't it? I don't know, Sean. I think it might be worthwhile just waiting up for Valverde and Quintana again here. Let them take over the pacemaking and then give it another dig, because Contador probably capable of accelerating a little bit faster than Rodriguez. Here we go again, and Valverde's decided to keep the pace high. Anything you can do, I can do better, and I've got a mate. Just the way of doing it. Well, I think this will aid Contador, Sean. You just sit at the back here, take a bit of a rest. You're going to go again, I'm sure of it.
Well, I'm not sure if he will try much more. You've seen that Rodriguez, is able to react, and not maybe immediately, but still he closed down the gap there gradually, and I don't think he had Rodriguez in difficulty. But again, Contador is the style of rider. If he have anything left in the tank, he will just keep on attacking.
3 kilometers to go. And Quintana setting the pace for Alejandro Valverde. Has done a good job to get him back up to these two. Rodriguez and Contador are the men who've been dueling it out, slugging it out here. This is Christopher Froome. This is the other thing that may aid Froome, of course, Sean, is if they slow up, if Quintana slows the pace up a little bit and these guys just follow. Meanwhile, behind, Froome can just put the hammer down as much as he possibly can. Well,
I don't think Quintana is going to slow down. Valverde is, pushing him on here and getting everything out of him, because he knows that he's, pulling time out of Christopher Froome. And general classification, of course, Froome is the one ahead of Contador. There's 141 general classification, both of them. So Contador is the one who has all to gain here, and he's going to, get everything out of his teammate. He's going to make him ride as long as he can and give it all he's got.
go. Contador goes again, and Rodriguez is straight on the wheel. Didn't get quite the jump that he had last time, Alberto Contador, but you've got to take your hat off to him. He had a go time and time again. He's got a little bit of a gap here, but Rodriguez is able to match him. Another little attack, but a little bit shorter this time from Contador. He's not being able to get rid of him. Rodriguez is matching him pedal stroke for pedal stroke, and the two best accelerating climbers in this year's Vuelta a España, if not the two best accelerating climbers in the world, Sean, are just slugging it out here.
Yes, and Rodriguez, it's amazing. He's just in that exceptional shape, and he's, Contador has not put him into any difficulty at all, because when you come back to the rider that goes in the attack, you normally sit in the wheel and just, make him ride on the front. But Rodriguez is just, taking the front, riding along at an easier pace, not giving it certainly, his full effort, and he's have it all under control here. As Contador goes once again.
Extraordinary, absolutely extraordinary. Valverde this time feels with the slope is a little bit less harsh. He can go with them this time. You'd have to say these three men, Sean, are the men who are going to contest for the podium. It's just which order they're going to get there in the end.
Yes, well, as we've been talking in the earlier part of this race, there was four men who were really capable of winning this race. Christopher Froome seems to be the one of the four which is in difficulty yesterday, getting into a bit of difficulty today, again in the difficulty. So now it looks like the three men we have here, Rodriguez, Contador and Valverde, they're the men for the podium places.
Valverde is still just hanging at the back here, and will he possibly give it one more attempt before they get to the line, possibly on that last little ramp? 37 seconds from Rodriguez back to Froome, and I do think, Sean, that he's been able to use this slackening injection of pace here at the front to keep going at a regular pace. Here we go again for, this is about the fifth time. Oh, little playing a feint this time around. Getting somebody else to do the work. I get the feeling, Sean, that Contador may well try on that last ramp, but Rodriguez may get there first. You never know. Rodriguez has just been marking time, perhaps. Who knows?
Yes, but on this
it's almost impossible to tell.
On the final ramp, he's not going to get any advantage, and we can see the way Rodriguez is reacting. And Contador, Valverde as well. He is feeling that a little bit better, and I think the way it's looking at the moment, the three men of the general classification, they're going to finish on the same time on this stage.
Quintana is drilling it at the front with Valverde in the green points leaders jersey in second spot here. In the red jersey of overall leaders, Joaquim Rodriguez, and the white combined jersey is Alberto Contador. What a fantastic last couple of days we've had. Downhill run now towards the finish. We're coming now. Brilliant, brilliant vista. No wonder this is such a legendary place. First here in 1983 with Marino Lajareta winning. This is the mountain where, wearing the leader's jersey back in 1987, our very own Sean had it ripped from his shoulders by Lucio Herrera, only to take it back again a few days later. Lucio Herrera, the great Colombian climber. And it's a Colombian leading Alejandro Valverde here. This is the group that Froome has got back into the group of Hesink and Ten Dam. Good riding by Christopher Froome to limit his losses as much as he possibly can. Here's the final ramp. They're going so fast into it. Is anybody going to be able to attack as they go up it? Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Oh, Bertie's going to have a jump. And Valverde goes around the outside. It's a sprint finish for Valverde, Rodriguez and Alberto Contador. Valverde leads them through the right-hand bend, and underneath him. Is it? Oh, I thought that Rodriguez was just going to go underneath him then. Valverde drives for the line, that bigger gear that he and Rodriguez can push. Contador maybe doesn't have the energy anymore. They're all going to finish together. Valverde, Rodriguez and Alberto Contador finish in the same time. They came over at 9:24 back on our winner, valiant Antonio Pietro. A fantastic ride by Pietro, the biggest win of his career. Got into the right break. Igor Anton comes in, 9:49. I make that 24 seconds he's lost. Wait for Froome coming over. Here is Christopher Froome's group. He runs in 10 minutes and 2 seconds. I make that 42 seconds he's lost, Sean.
Yes, and we can see there Ten Dam coming over. He's lost a bit of time, but still limit his losses very well, considering in the earlier part of the climb he seemed to be in difficulty. I was real concerned that he was going to lose a packet there.
Ten Dam, great riding by Ten Dam, one of my heroes of the Vuelta so far. But the three big men in this year's Vuelta a España, Joaquim Rodriguez, Alberto Contador and Alejandro Valverde, have done a magnificent ride today, coming in together. They're so closely matched. Christopher Froome fighting so hard. He's clearly tired. There's Nicholas Roach coming over at 10:55. Big loss.
Montfort.
Big loss with Montfort. Yes, it's got them strung out all over the place here. And another difficult day for Chris Froome. He's battling on, Sean, but he's losing time. And it now is 1, 2 and 3 for Rodriguez, Contador and Valverde. Valverde was equal on time this morning with Chris Froome. Froome is now going to have a problem getting up to the third step on the podium if he has another day like he has today tomorrow.
Yes, well, there's certainly a change there, and Valverde is the one who really, benefit on the stage today. So he's moved into third place and took a more solid position there. And also down the classement, we can see Nicholas Roach also lost time there. We could see Ten Dam come in the earlier group with Anton also moving up. So there's quite a lot of change about in that top 10 places overall.
Yeah, and there'll be even more tomorrow up to Sueto Negro finish tomorrow. Another stage from hell tomorrow for some of these guys. They really don't want to be doing something like that. 183.5 kilometers to Sueto Negro. Here we go.
Pues sí, no, la verdad que no me lo hubiese imaginado nunca y bueno, hoy la verdad tenía muy buenas sensaciones, he conseguido coger la fuga buena.
Thank you very much.
Y al final tener un poco de sangre fría.
Get my win. I've got some pretty good feeling today. I was just waiting until I could get away, and I took the victory.
Y esperé un poco, la verdad llevaba buenas piernas y quise esperar un poco a que reaccionase.
Yeah, I had some confidence. I waited. I felt good.
De la escapada.
I was thinking some of the guys were going to react, but they didn't. And then it was just a test for me personally. I could tell that I was going easily, my legs were turning easily, so I just went for it.
Y de Dani García, un amigo también que falleció hace ya varios años y que era pues muy buen amigo para mí.
Pedazo de victoria también para el Caja Rural.
Sí, sí, la verdad que me alegro un
missed that last answer. Sorry about that.
Somos un equipo pequeño.
This is good for Caja Rural. That's the question. Yeah, sure. We're a small team, one of the biggest stages in the world. Thanks very much. There's always the problem with Spanish Spanish interviews, Sean. They always get so excited, don't they, in the Vuelta a España? Some of the Spanish, it comes out at 1,000,000 miles a second. They can't work out what they're saying sometimes.
Yes, well, he certainly is excited, and
I would be too, I think.
yes, I'm not surprised he is. What a victory! And as he said there, he just went in the earlier part of the climb just to see what the reaction would would be, and no reaction from the other riders, and that was the amazing thing. I thought there was some of the guys there who were just playing the waiting game and going to really go for that final 5 or 6 kilometres, but he was the strongest man of the 10-man breakaway.
Yeah, I'm going to say I thought the same actually when Kasheshkin went and everybody started to go with him. Antonio Piedra then gets the win ahead of Ruben Perez, Lloyd Mondori. That's great riding by Lloyd Mondori, to be honest. David de la Fuente, Pablo Lastra, the rest of the breakaway there. And then look, Alejandro Valverde, Joaquim Rodriguez, Alberto Contador and Quintana coming almost together. Igor Anton, good riding by Anton. Tomasz Marcinski, another good result for him. But big losses for some of the other men. Christopher Froome losing a pack at a time again today. Not a massive one, but just enough to just lose that joint third spot, and he's gradually slipping. The question is, Sean, is there anybody behind him who can now start sort of homing in on him? We don't know. Here's Chris Froome.
It was a really tough climb today, so I think it was expected, but yeah, I'm definitely suffering.
Now you're really red.
I don't have a red jersey, but maybe my face is red.
What is the tactic till or from today, from the next days, and especially for tomorrow?
I'm just trying to do as much as I can. Yeah, obviously I'm suffering in the mountains against the Spanish riders, so I'm just trying to do the most I can every day, and just to stay up there.
What is the idea today or after today? Still thinking about winning the Vuelta or only the podium? What do you think?
I'm not sure where I'm going to end up, but I just do the maximum possible, and I'm going to be happy with that.
Thank you.
Okay.